Coach Austin here from PB Square. We have Coach Michael as well to show you 3 simple exercises to help strengthen the muscles to support your low back. Okay, so last week we did 3 simple stretches that anybody can do to help relieve the tension in your low back. This week we want to do 3 simple exercises to help strengthen. Okay, so to briefly explain what we're after strengthening up the glutes, a little bit of the hamstrings, and the abs, okay, the core muscles right here. A lot of the times what happens when those muscles that I mentioned are underdeveloped, they aren't strong enough, your low back, which is strong, says, hey, I got this. I can bear the load that you're not wanting to bear, okay? So instead, what I want to teach you are how to engage those muscles, how to use those muscles, and how to strengthen them so that they take the load of what your low back is naturally wanting to compensate. Okay, so exercise number 1 are bridges. Very simple exercise. You'll be lying down on your back, about a right angle in both of your knees. You are lifting up those hips as tall as you can. Let them tap back down and then rise back up. Okay, so as you're doing this, your core muscles stay engaged. I want you to squeeze them tight. Like somebody's going to come and pow, punch you, you're going to squeeze them tight, right? As you're going up, you're engaging those glutes and those hamstrings. Both those muscles help to work as hip extensors, okay? Lower back muscles help to work as spinal extensors. Like we're in this position. We don't live in this position very often, but a lot of times when we're coming up or we're flexed, we're working on extending your spine instead of keeping your spine neutral and straight and extending at the hips, okay? A lot of times we're flexed and we use those lower back muscles to extend at the spine instead of extend at the hips. What is he doing? He's in full hip extension. Go down, he's in hip flexion. That's the way we're trying to train these. Glutes, hamstrings hit low, core stabilizes the spine to help keep it as straight as possible. Exercise number 2, leg press, ab hold. You're going to bring those knees up at about a right angle in the hips, about a right angle in the knees, head and shoulders down. If you're really pushing with all that you got, this will be a challenge, okay? Some people, they don't have the same range of motion as Michael does. Maybe they're right there, okay? Some people with less range of motion come right there. So that's what we have one of these Swiss balls for here today. You can use that. So if your range of motion in your hips is not there all the way, you can still have this pressure. The more you push up against those legs, the more those legs are going to push back, constant tension in your core. There is no movement going on here. That's why I like this one. The bridges, we're traveling up and down. You could hold it. This one, he has to hold it now that window is there. This one, he's just holding. Okay, so constant pressure and tension in those abdominals helps you break down and rebuild those muscles, okay? There's no movement, so the low back is not doing anything. Some people, you can relax there, some people, the low back wants to have a nice little round. Okay, so the modification of that, going to it one more time, you can lift your shoulders up off the ground, have a slight round, slight flexion to your spine, and then that helps you press that lower back down. That's another option. The third exercise we have, we call fire hydrant. You're going to roll it over into tabletop position. Hips are right over his knees, shoulders are right over his wrists. Take that knee straight out to the side, keeping those knees in line with each other for hip abduction, okay? You'll take it out and bring it all back in. Take it out and bring it all back in. Keeping those hips in line with each other. Do a bad one. Take it up really high. So the hips turn, the hips move, the low back moves. That's not what we want, okay? Bring that back down. So keep the spine as neutral and as straight as you can. Think about pulling that belly button into your spine as you're in this position. Take that knee out again. Those hips try to stay as even as possible. So your hips, these hip bones, they don't actually move. It's just that hip joint that moves. That ball and socket joint, that femur connecting to the hip. That's the only actual movement of this exercise. Keep going with those, Michael. Keep on going back and forth. Here, that's the exercise, okay? If you want a bonus version of this exercise, whatever knee is moving, his right knee is moving. The opposite arm can reach out to the side as well. Now it becomes a core and hip exercise because your core is trying to help stabilize, okay? So it's a bird dog. Opposite knee and arm are reaching out. Do opposite. Don't do the same side. It doesn't work too well. You're going to fall, okay? Don't fall based off of my watch. So, those are the 3 exercises, 3 simple exercises to help strengthen your hips and your abdominals, okay? The stronger those muscles are, the less that your low back has to work. If you are experiencing that low back pain right now, go back, to the last video we did with stretches to help reduce the pain and reduce the tension, okay? These are for tension within the muscles. These are not for disc issues. I want to give that. These exercises will help with anything, okay? These are your foundational core exercises. We'll see you guys soon.